Regan Slaymaker for Notjustboxing, and I have the pleasure to be joined by middleweight prospect Aaron Bowen. Aaron, how are you today, mate? Ahead of another massive return to Birmingham for yourself.
I'm all good, thank you, mate. I'm just finished the track this morning, so I'm a little tired, but now all good, mate. All good, ready to go.
I was gonna say those track sessions are not for the faint-hearted as well. But I mean, another massive night back in Birmingham. But yeah, how does it feel to have? I mean, the last time you were there, a massive crowd and a massive fight in Birmingham. Excited to be back there.
Yeah, it's lucky. I'm lucky, Three of my six fights now will be in Birmingham, so I'm very grateful that it's there because it gives me a chance to build and I love them. Like everyone say, you don't want too many of them fights, but I love that. That's everyone still talks about that fight, and I like that type of fight. So obviously you want to win and look good, but I don't mind it going there, and I love it that everyone has a good night and I have a great fight, and I don't want to get dropped, but it added to the story, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? So it was good, and I'm hoping for another a great fight. Like I want him to bring it because I'll bring it. My last one in Belfast was great experience, but he went on the run for 6 rounds. And people are paying their money at least. I know it's going to be harder for me if he comes and has a go, but it's better for me, it's better for everyone. So yeah, should be good though. Looking forward to it.
Definitely, mate. Before we get into, well, actually, no, we'll jump straight into the James Todd fight. I wanted to reflect on that a bit, but yeah, you just touched on there. You preferred obviously that type of fight. I mean, I was ringside that night. It was one of the best six rounders I've ever seen in my entire life. But kind of, yeah. What did you take? Obviously, it was your first fight back from injury. Like there
Yeah,
was, I think a lot of fighters would have preferred an easier fight coming back after about a
too
year
right.
layoff. But yeah, how do you reflect on that night in the context of your career so far? Because it was a really important fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was probably the most beneficial for me, if that like without sounding mad, because I needed that wake up call. Because I went in after 18 months, I thought I'm just gonna knock this guy out with a body shot because I'd done it 3 times prior.
Hmm.
That was immature of me to think that, you know. And then after I didn't get him with a body shot, I thought I'm going to knock him out to the head. And he was a tough man. He wasn't going nowhere. So I learned a lot in that sense. I learned a lot, about getting back to where I was. It was just a real beneficial thing in my career and the training before that, how I'm now stretching before every session, rehab before. So it was probably the worst year of my life, and what I thought at the time was the worst fight of my life. It's really helped me now. So, um, it's really helping me. I think it will help me in the future. I'm
Hmm.
already in the gym straight after that, working on things I did wrong, and it takes not a loss, but I didn't lose, but it takes a mistake or two to do that. So.
Hmm.
But overall, I mean, the fight was great, and I loved looking back at the videos because we just went to war, and I love that it was in Birmingham. There was 550 of my people there, and it was just a good atmosphere, wasn't it? And they're the nights people remember, so I really enjoyed it.
Definitely, I think it probably was one of the fights of the night on that card as well. I mean, obviously, I remember that night you saw, like you said, you sold 500 tickets, and it sounded like you sold 500 tickets as well. I mean, how
Yeah.
much did they give you like an extra bit of motivation, extra bit of push when it does get tough in there? Did they really push you on to get that stoppage in the I
Oh
think the fifth
yeah.
fifth of the sixth round?
Massively, like when I got dropped, I wasn't hurt. It was more of a balancing,
Mm.
and but I was still the refs counting, so I'm still like lost that round, and I just thought I can't lose in front of all these people. I wouldn't lose if it was just me and him in a barn, but I really couldn't lose in front of all them. Do you know that like it's us in it feels like so it was and then every time I'd land a punch they'd cheer, so that does help. That's a
Mm.
big help. And they're noisy, like that we're commentary, we're loud, and we have a good drink and stuff. So I love how noisy they are and how it gets me through the fights. And sometimes it drags me into a fight because I'll be
Mm.
boxing out here, come on, and I'm like, we've got to impress here. So it's good, and they did help me massively through that fight. And it had a little early doors, but it was like a little Rocky story. You got dropped, come back up and win, and there was all your people there, so it was great. Not obviously don't want that every time, but it was great at the same time.
Definitely, and it was great to watch. Might I add as well, Aaron, as well. Like you've mentioned, we've mentioned the injury break there. I do want to touch on that. We've not actually spoke about it, but
I,
kind of yeah, you said it was the worst period of your life. I mean, how was that injury period? Let's say, and kind of how important were the likes of your coach Shiny bringing you kind of back to fighting fitness as well?
yeah, it was horrible time. Looked like I was flying, then I'm in a hospital bed, and they're teaching me how to like not teaching me, but back to walk program, like crutches and back to walking. So it was like I was up here, and then I'm down here, and Shiny was at every consultation. My coach Shiny, he was at every consultation. He was at every phone call that I had with the doctor, and he was in contact with my physios, Max and Freddie, my nutritionist. Like it was the team I had really got me through it.
Mm,
And they also backed off a little bit, gave me that time to just get through it. So they played a massive part, and my family played a massive part. And at the time, I didn't really want to see anyone. I didn't want to speak to people. It was real horrible time. And
mm,
Shawnee let me have that sort of time to be on myself, and then when the time was right, when the doctor said it, we slowly introduced it, and we had a great camp for James Todd. I mean, it wasn't my best performance, but I was fit in the fifth round. I got the stoppage, James Todd was a horrible man to fight. Like he was tough and strong and awkward. So it showed Shiny's preparation with Max and my conditioning guy and Freddie, my nutritionist, and loads of us. We were at Wolverhampton Uni. Like the whole team got me to that fight and fit again, and I was fit, and I could have got carried on to the sixth, seventh, eighth in that fight. Even though I didn't feel amazing, I felt
mm.
fit, so I was very grateful that the team put the work in, and obviously I put the work in as well. But your team's important, and yeah, I'm very grateful for that.
Definitely, mate. It sounds like it was a long road, just getting
Yeah,
back into training, let alone to
yeah,
fighting again as well. I mean, I've spoke to you about the importance of Shiny Singh before. I feel like he's a coach that is getting more and more credits, and kind of yourself, Elliot Wales in the gym. There's a few other Macaulay Owen as well. I mean, as a coach, do you think Shiny's now getting the credit that he almost deserves, especially as a pro coach as well? I know he does a lot with the amateurs, but as a pro coach, he's finally getting more credit.
yeah. I think he is, and I think he deserves it. And I think he'll get more. I think me and Elliot are on a good trajectory, and you got John Tom Very, you got there's loads of lads in the gym. I've missed a load there, but there's loads in the gym, and he's working with them, and I feel like we're all improving. And then we've got a good mix with Errol Johnson from BCB and Paul Mann and the Ben Wilkes, the guys there. So we've got a right good mix, and Shiny's a real good coach, and he's works it down to the fine details and precises it each time. So I do feel like we've got a great coach in Shiny, and he puts a lot of hours into us,
Mm,
time out, any time of the day, any session you want to do. And he's also very clever with how he does it. He's got, the right team. He's got nutritionist, physio, sports science, everything, you name it. So we're in good hands, and I think the lads in the gym will pay due to it. Like we'll give him back what he gives us. So
mm.
hopefully he can take off from here.
Definitely, mate. It sounds like a very well-oiled machine
Yeah.
up north there as well. I mean, obviously this is an eight rounder on June the 21st. Obviously you have, I mean, you've got more amateur titles the
Yeah.
most people are Aaron as well. How far are we off? Do you think that title fight that next step to? I don't want to say I don't want to rush you, Aaron. Obviously, it's only the
World
third fight
title.
since an injury. Yeah, but yeah, handing out world titles like the next person. But how far away are we off? Kind of maybe the area title or a ranking title. How close are we to that?
I'd say after this fight, I think we're ready to go. Then push for it Midlands. I think that'd be a nice first one.
Hmm.
Get that 10 rounder in. It'll be a good test because they want to win. A bit of a local rivalry derby type thing. So that'd be a bit of a challenge, and I just think that'd be nice. Don't get me wrong, if an English eliminator was offered, I'd jump at it, but
Mm,
it more likely will be a Midlands 10 rounder. That'd be good. Win that, and then try. Well, hopefully win that, and then try and move on to a English eliminator. I'd like to do it the traditional route,
mm.
get every bout. Probably Dalton Smith's done it, and people have done it in the past. So I think that'd be a great route to go Midlands, English, British, and see where we go.
Definitely, I feel like some of the shine from those titles are going, but they're still very prestigious. And like you look at John Hedges the other day, Southern area, then English, and he's
Yeah.
going all that way as well. Those are great titles to win as well. I don't want to sound like I'm stirring the pot with this next question, Aaron, so I'm just going to preface that before I say it. But obviously, you've got a few amateur rivals have turned over professional recently. Rampton Musa and Taylor Bevan. I know you've been doing some sparring with Taylor Bevan, so I hope neither of you come find me at the next media event. But are obviously you fought them both as an amateur. I'm not saying next, but are fights with those two in the professional ranks sort of inevitable at some point? Obviously, with how kind of with the history that's there almost.
Yeah, I'd say so. I feel like they're coming sooner or later. They're obviously both at the weight above, but I'll
Mm,
no doubt I'll be up there in the next probably 2 years. Do you know what I mean? So
mm,
we don't. It might even be sooner, but so and obviously the fight with me and Taylor was a great fight in the Commonwealths, and so was mine and Rampton's in the amateurs or ABAs all them years ago.
mm,
So it will happen, and I look it will be great when it does because both of them fighters are great fighters, but they none of us are going to change in that time. It's not like the fights are going to be exciting. And
mm.
I was saying earlier, there's probably going to be trilogies with one of them. Like I think the fights are that good and the styles clash that well. I think it's more than likely going to be a good British classics. I'm hoping. So
Definitely.
I
I mean,
look
you
forward
could
to that.
for sure you could all mix those domestic titles in with those
Yeah.
fights as well. I mean, I have to ask about the sparring with Taylor as well. Does it is it just a carry on from the amateur days? Is it just the same as ever?
Ever, same as always. Like it was, I remember we first sparred after the games probably a year ago, and I think it might have been his coach or my coach was just like that was just like watching the fight of the games all over again. It's just, and that's what I mean. It won't ever change. We've sparred for hundreds of rounds up GB. It's never changed and it never will change unless he changes his game plan on the night and starts back foot boxing, but I don't think he will.
Hmm,
So it's great sparring, competitive. And that's what I want though. I want when I spar him, I know I'm gonna get good work, high level work, and he wants to win and I want to win. There's
hmm.
no bad blood. It's just competitiveness and what the will to win. So it creates a great spar. So it would create for a great fight and it will happen. So
Definitely. I mean, as yeah, don't. I'm not a fan of leaking sparring footage, Aaron. But
yeah,
if you could send me a link to those, that'd be great, mate.
yeah,
As well, I'd love to
yeah.
watch them. But Aaron, I mean, we've breezed through all my questions, mate. But yeah, I'll leave it there. But any final words for the fans? I'm sure another 500 Aaron Bowen fans flocking to Birmingham on June the 21st, mate.
Yeah, just obviously appreciate them so much because they're why I'm here now, and they're why the fights are exciting because they make so much noise. So I'm putting the work in. They're all coming, so it's going to be a big night on June 21st.
And I look forward to it, Aaron Bowen. Cheers for that, mate.
Thank you, mate. Nice to speak to
Cool.
you.
No worries. You too.